Welcome to Barrio Voices, where we highlight the voices of our barrios, familias, and communities. This is Velas, and I hope you're having a good one. Sit back and enjoy la plática. Órale. What's up, everybody? Feliz Dia de los Muertos. I hope that y'all are having a wonderful time, remembering those that have, come before us, remembering our ancestors and inviting them back to this tierra, you know what I mean? And in addition to that, really, hope that y'all enjoy this episode. We're talking about the new mural out there in Chicano Park, serving as an altar, for those people that have been, falling victim of, by ICE or immigration customs and other individuals that really don't want our gente here, you know what I mean? So I really want to highlight that because, just recently too, something was bugging me. There's a proclamation out there, made by the White House, saying that, they want to, recognize all the individuals that have been killed, right, by, illegal aliens and all these nasty things, you know what I mean? And that's all bad, you know what I mean? Because they don't really take into account how beautiful our gente really is, you know what I mean? Sharing the stories that of struggle, right, that our gente has to endure, you know what I mean? Used to have a life out here, used to survive out here, you know what I mean? Sin papeles ni nada, making things happen, you know what I mean? And so I wanted to just bring that up, and also allow y'all to really think about what y'all gonna be doing November 3rd when you're out there, voting and making your voice count, you know what I mean? You're gonna be speaking for not just yourself, but for those people que también no tienen papeles o derecho también de votar, people that are out there in parole, even the young ones out there that have something else to say, that can't say it because, they're not old enough to vote, keep that in mind too, what is it they need for their own futures, you know what I mean? Don't just think about yourself, but think about everybody else out there that really, would be, impacted, indirectly or directly, based off your vote, you know what I mean? So make sure that y'all making a good choice out there in November 3rd and, keep your community in your mind, you know what I mean? But besides all of that, I'm just going to have DJ Velas Rola and allow these muralists and community organizers, enlighten your mind just a little bit. Órale.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think that you definitely see a correlation from the things that were happening before and the things that are happening today. So what do we want as activists, as artists? We want change. We want our people to be recognized, and it's all our people, like all immigrants that are coming here, that should be treated with respect and treated with love and be nourished. Like if immigrants coming here, we should be welcome them with first open arms, and we should be there, give them a hug, like welcome, you're here. Now let's figure out how we can help you. Instead of treating them like criminals, or treating them like they're all coming over here to hurt our families, or kind of this whole jargon that you hear in politics right now, that we're all just coming here for harm, and that's all the stigma that we want to change, and that's the same stigma has been present with our families. Our parents were marching with Chunky and Cesar Chavez, still trying to say the same chants, and we're here doing the same thing today. But I think on another level, a lot of us have been more on the silent tip. We've been kind of quiet about it. We've been just working. We've been just doing our thing. But I think now today it's like we have to be even louder. We have to be even more bold about what we say, what we do, and our actions, how we do it. So if anything, what I kind of see for the future is such a movement that, what, let's talk about this uncomfortable situations, talk about the things that have been happening since way back then, or since the beginning of time, when our families have come to this country, and even today things have not changed. What we want to see is these law enforcement agencies, because that's all they are. They're not gods. They're not, they don't have impunity to be able to do whatever the heck they want and just get away with it. What we want is justice. What we want is these agencies to be accountable for the shit that they do. And that's a day-to-day, everyday situation. Like, why is it that Homeland Security and the Border Patrol and ICE don't even take care of their own prisons, their own jails? How is it that a third party organization or nonprofit is running these places? These are the places where our kids are, where you see them in the blankets and in cages. Why is this third party organization running this? So these are the kinds of things that we want justice. We want answers. We don't want to just be pushed to the side and just like, oh, whatever they're asking, who cares? No, that's part of what our movement is. That's part of the things that we're going to start doing. We're going to start getting in front of these people that should be accountable, and for these organizations that need to speak up. And we want to know what the heck are they doing now today to change what they've been creating, because now it's gotten worse, now to a point where it's going to cause some civil unrest. It's going to cause more than some of these protests that have been going on. We've been protesting for years. We've been doing this for years. It's just now a matter of like how serious are we. I think now it's like, let's make this a little bit more political. Let's start, making these politicians a little more accountable. Let's get answers today. I think that's what we need in the future. As far as the movement and what we've been doing, nothing's changing. If anything, I think those that have not done anything, it's like get off the couch and start linking up with us arm in arm and let's go.
I think so. That's true, and it's like one of the things that I reflect on a lot is our children. Our children are our seeds, and who's watering them? Who's teaching them this? The government is, the TV is, the brands are, the movie stars, and it's like a lot of the kids don't even know their background or where they're from or their indigenous culture, and it's just like that shit. It hurts me. It's like, dude, look at your skin tone, look at your hair, look at who you are. You're not Americano. You're from La Tierra's land. Like, we need to bring awareness to the community, because a lot of people don't, because the knowledge is kept from them. Like all the after school programs are taken away. So what do the kids got? The streets and drugs and alcohol. And one of the things that I see a lot at Chicano Park, a lot of the kids are eager to paint, are eager just to have something, teach something, let's build something. That's why we have to build our community and take care of our community. Because it's like they say, it takes a village to raise a child. Like a lot of people be like, well, I don't have a dad, I don't have a mom. It doesn't matter. Got you. A lot of people like, I can't have kids, and they forget. It's like, dude, there's plenty of kids on the streets that need that love. And it's like once you teach that, they never forget it. They keep spreading it, and it doesn't stop. That's one of the things that a lot of people would rather fucking drink tall can or whatnot and not spend time in the community. And like I remember growing up and not having anyone there, teaching you what's right or wrong, and you go through different mistakes, and that's how you learn. And now that I see what's going on, it's like it's my duty, it's our civil duty to take care of our youth, our children, our families, all of our raza. They don't know what's going on, and some people want to help, but they don't even know how to help. That's why it's time to wake up, rattle the freaking beast. Let's do this. Like, basta, vámonos rápido.
I want to say one thing to go off of that, which is in a world that systematically dehumanizes us and our children, we need to actively teach them to see their own worth, and that their worth is not a conflict with who they are. That they don't need to look, act, think, be anything other than what they are. And us, I think, as artists, are following in a way an ancient lineage. If you look at our history, much of which has been lost, much of which has been replaced with destroyed, burned, yeah, and changed into, this warped, false narrative of that basically tells us that we're inferior for one reason or another. If you really start looking at our history, we were amazing. We had everything, and art was originally extremely sacred. Artists were up there ranking with scholars, with the government, with warriors, with nobility. Artists were not just these poor, starving, and selfish creatures or anything. Like a lot of times art is portrayed here, and without, I think, planning it in that way or being necessarily totally conscious of it, all of us, by following our heart, by following that which comes most naturally to us, which again is because of where we come from, because we are here on our own land, regardless of what state we're in, regardless of what country we're in, this is our land right here. And to let that channel through, I think we have been continuing this legacy of teaching future generations, current generations, even older generations, to be able to see their own worth without falling into that old narrative. And we need to be very active about that. It cannot be a passive thing, because the other side dismantling us is not passive at all.
And people look at us like criminals, but it's like we do the job nobody else wanted to do. And that's what makes America great. Raza. Whether you're black, brown, yellow, Japanese, Chinese, Korean, all the same. And we all want the same rights. We all want to grow and raise our families in a better place.
I think my advice to artists and muralists is to be bold and don't shy away from the topics that are a little more difficult to convey visually, or that people might think are too emotionally draining for others to see. I think that in order to find your voice, you're gonna have to confront difficult topics, like especially with immigration, or just the struggle that goes through. A lot of it isn't flowers and roses or sugar skulls, Frida Kahlo. A lot of it are hard hitting topics, hard hitting images of people dying, of people like their lives. So don't shy away from that. Be bold about how you express it.
And a lot of times when I ask other artists, I'm like, "What's your purpose?" And at the end of the day, those are the questions that we have to ask ourselves. And as a muralist, as an artist, as an activist, what are you doing? What is it that your purpose is with your work? What are you supposed to be doing with it? Are you supposed to just be selling it? Are you supposed to be, touching lives, motivating people? What is it? So ask yourself those questions. And I think for us as artists, we're now in a point where we're like, hey, let's also collaborate. Let's collaborate. It's not about me as an artist. It's not about you as an artist. It's about us, and how can we bring that unity together? And how can we create something that I can't create by myself? I can't do on my own. But when I work with all these other great artists, man, we create some things and that's why now today, like we're talking about, we're going to start touching a lot of other parts of the town, and we're going to start going on this tour, we're going to start touching a lot of other places and towns, not even just in the US. We're starting an initiative to beautify the world. It's not even just our city. Yeah, we're starting in our cities. We're starting here, but we're gonna keep going. We got a lot of life left in us, and a lot of walls to touch, a lot of canvases to paint, and we're gonna make some art for sure. And ask yourself those questions every day. Every day you wake up, every day you get another chance at life, because life is fragile. Tomorrow's not promised to us. So what are you doing today? That's my question to everybody out there.
And there you all have it, mi gente. Another great episode from my corazon onto yours. And I hope that you all are having your community in your corazon as you go out to November 3rd and make things happen, you know what I mean? And so besides all of that, thank you all for being in tune to Barrio Voices, where we highlight the voices of our barrios, familias, and communities. This is Velas, and to you all, mi barrio vota. Órale.